The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker 4K could be coming out sooner than we thought. Now, this game would be a most highly anticipated Zelda game in the world. Now, we finally got the version on Gamecube, which is really awesome, but that has an overwhelmingly negative approach to, playing The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Now, recently I made a video about how, the Switch 2 version is so much better, clearly, than every other version. Now, I was just trying to make the spirits high for that game. Instead of going into the Switch 2 era saying, this game sucks, I'm not going to play it. Might as well just say, this game is the best, so I'm going to play it. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so I think that we will be seeing The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker 4K in about 2026, because if you don't know, that is the 40th anniversary of the Legend of Zelda series. And what better way to approach that series than to re-release the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker 4K for the Nintendo Switch 2? Hey, that would make the most amount of sense. Now, what could this 4K version add? Well, obviously, we could be seeing 4K for that system. We also could be seeing light clarity. We could be seeing maybe a better draw distance, ray tracing. Whatever the case may be, we could be seeing a whole bunch of things that improve the game, the visual-wise, and maybe even gameplay. The return of the Swift Sail, the return of the sea charts, maybe even the cut down on the Triforce quest. Now, these are all very great improvements that the Wii U version had, and that is just fantastic to be seeing those things return. Now, I think that other things that we could be seeing is maybe an expansion on Master Mode or something that really makes the game super hard. Now, we already have the Hero Mode on the Wii U version, which cuts down on you can't get any hearts from any enemies or any crates, but you can get hearts from just buying the hearts or potions or something. We could be seeing the return of that game mode, because that is pretty fun. You don't even get the tunic of the Wind Waker. You just get your pajamas and you keep going on your adventure, which is pretty cool. You don't get the tunic, so you're off with your pajamas. So I think that this is a great thing. Now, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD did bring us a lot of things that make it a truly special Zelda game. I still love The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD because the gamepad really utilized the gameplay and made it seamless transition to going to boat mode or going on an island. You can just look down on your gamepad and see, okay, this is the map. All right, so I want to go here. And oh wait, where's Dragon Roost Island? I want to go over here. So it was just easy to be able to look down. All right, this is where I'm going, sailing the sea this way, and boom. Even if you didn't have the Swift Sail in that game, the map was so easy to access. Until you had the Swift Sail, boom, it was just easy. All right, I'm shifting the wind towards north. All right, boom. There we go. We got Dragon Roost Island. So overall, it was awesome. Now, how would this work on Nintendo Switch 2? Now, we all know that the Nintendo Switch 2 has mouse controls, right? Now, what could they implement this? Now, mouse controls would most likely allow you to play the game in mouse controls because, hey, who doesn't want to use a mouse to play The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker? I mean, you could. It's very possible to use that. Maybe in some ways how you would do it is you can use the mouse to easily access the map and the chart and the things that where you want to go, maybe the sunken treasure and all of that stuff. We all know that the Nintendo Switch 2 has HD Rumble too, so it'll probably make it a wider, a greater experience of what you're feeling. Maybe when you swing at an enemy, you feel that swing in your, hands, kind of like the haptic feedback on PlayStation, but Nintendo haptic feedback, because Nintendo does have haptic feedback on the original Switch, and Switch 2 supposedly is going to be greater than that. So just maybe we could be seeing that, something like that, make its way to Switch 2. All right, so in terms of 4K and how all this stuff, how's the game gonna run? I think it will see 4K 60 or 120 1080p. Now, whatever resolution you set is pretty much how your game is gonna run. So I think that the 4K version, since it's called The Legend of Zelda 4K, you don't necessarily have to play it in 4K if you don't want to, but I think that this would be a great option for those of you who have a 4K television that can run at 60 or 60 hertz or whatever. So overall, really exciting for this. because it's the 40th anniversary of the Legend of Zelda series next year, we could even be seeing even more things than just the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker 4K. Maybe we could be seeing a new Legend of Zelda game. This is very, very unlikely to be seeing a new Legend of Zelda game. If we're thinking like another game, kind of like the Nintendo Switch 2 version of the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, we're talking about like a big new game, like how the Nintendo or how the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was the big new game for that system. Maybe, just maybe, we could be seeing that. It's probably not very likely that we will be seeing a brand new Zelda game, but we can still have our hold hopes up. So really, where the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker 4K really slips into play here, it makes a lot of sense to be seeing this game on the Legend of Zelda's 40th anniversary. We'll probably even see a remaster for the original Legend of Zelda game, but overall, I think that is really, really cool. Depending on what Nintendo does for the 40th anniversary of Mario, maybe we can like do 2 and 2 together and say, hey, this game might be coming. I think that the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker 4K will be coming in 2026, so you could get your hopes up just a little bit to shine through the cracks and say, hey, you know what? The Gamecube version on Nintendo Switch isn't so bad. We can play that for now and wait, because I think that this game isn't the worst thing in the world. Sure, it's a port of the Gamecube version, but let me tell you, you can play that game, and then you can play a different game, and you could come back to this game. It's an emulated version of the Gamecube version, but it's on official Nintendo hardware. You don't have to bring anything else from your location that you're moving your Switch. You just have your Nintendo Switch, and you can play that game. So, keep your spirits up. Don't fall into the rabbit hole of, oh man, they should have brought the Wind Waker HD back to Nintendo Switch 2. Because then it just ruins your experience for the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker on GameCube. So make sure that you don't fall into the trap of, yeah, well, the HD version is so much better, and I'm not gonna play the GameCube version, because then you're gonna be like, okay, so I'm just not gonna play the GameCube version. It sucks. This one's horrible, and I don't want to play it. So then what? You're just not gonna play Zelda Wind Waker? Like, you could go back to the Wii U if you want, but like now you're not utilizing your brand new Nintendo Switch 2. So overall, if you want to watch that video, that's completely up to you. It might make you upset. I'm pretty sure it's at a 20% like to dislike ratio. That's actually my lowest. But anyways, I'm just trying here to make everyone feel like Nintendo gaming is amazing. I want you to have a fantastic day, and no matter what you feel about the game, no matter what you feel of the topic of the video, let me know. It's completely up to you. And I really, really appreciate you watching this video all the way to the end. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope you have a fantastic day. Consider to hit the like button, maybe the subscribe button. Consider to also check your email today. Check your email. You might get a Nintendo invite, so you can buy a Nintendo Switch 2. If you don't already have a Nintendo Switch 2, you can buy one. So that is pretty awesome. And thank you so much. Hope that maybe you can hit the like button, the subscribe button. Thank you so much for 900 subscribers. I couldn't have done it without you. And with that being said, see you in the next one.